Welcome to this lesson on type conversion and casting in Java. Understanding how Java handles data types is crucial for writing efficient and error-free code. In this lesson, we will explore two main concepts: implicit and explicit data conversion. By the end of this lesson, you will have a solid grasp of how to convert between different data types in Java, which will be essential for your programming journey. Don't worry if this feels new at first. This section covers understanding data types in Java. In Java, data types define the data a variable can hold. The main categories of data types are: first, primitive types. These are the most basic data types, including int, double, char, boolean, etc. Next, reference types. These include objects and arrays. They refer to instances of classes and are more complex than primitive types. Understanding how to convert between these data types will help you manipulate data effectively in your Java programs. Implicit data conversion, also known as coercion, occurs when Java automatically converts one data type to another without requiring any additional code from the programmer. This usually happens when you assign a value of a smaller type to a larger type. For example, I'll let you read the examples on screen rather than reading every line aloud. In this example, the integer myint is automatically converted to a double when assigned to myDouble. This conversion is safe because a double can hold all possible values of an integer. Explicit data conversion, also known as casting, is when you manually convert one data type to another using a cast operator. This is necessary when you want to convert a larger data type to a smaller data type, as this may result in data loss. For instance, the samples on screen walk through this step. Take a moment to read through them. Here, the double myDouble is explicitly cast to an integer myint. The decimal part is truncated, and the value of myint will be 9. It's important to note that explicit casting can lead to loss of information, so it should be done with caution. Next, type conversion rules. When performing type conversion, it's important to understand the rules that govern how Java handles these conversions. First, widening conversion. This occurs when converting from a smaller primitive type to a larger primitive type, e.g., int to long or float to double. This is done implicitly. Next, narrowing conversion. This happens when converting from a larger primitive type to a smaller primitive type, e.g., double to int. This requires explicit casting due to the potential loss of data. Also, reference type conversion. When working with objects, you can convert a subclass reference to a superclass reference implicitly. However, converting from a superclass reference to a subclass reference requires explicit casting and should be done cautiously to avoid class cast exception. This section covers example of type conversion. Let's look at a complete example where we utilize both implicit and explicit type conversion. Review the class shown on screen and how its members are organized. In this example, we first perform an implicit conversion from int to double, followed by an explicit conversion from double to int. The output will be. I'll let you read the examples on screen rather than reading every line aloud. Next, recap. In this lesson, we explored the concepts of implicit and explicit data conversion in Java. We learned how implicit conversion occurs automatically when assigning smaller data types to larger ones, while explicit conversion requires the programmer to specify the desired type using casting. Understanding these concepts is essential for effective data manipulation in Java. Now put what you've learned into practice. First, create a Java program that demonstrates implicit conversion using various primitive types. Next, write a program that performs explicit casting from float to int and observe the output. Also, experiment with converting between different reference types using explicit casting, ensuring to handle potential exceptions. By completing these exercises, you will solidify your understanding of type conversion and casting in Java.